There are only two ways to leave the most powerful criminal organization in Brazil. The first way ends in a shallow grave in the outskirts of São Paulo, your name erased from existence, your history buried in the cold earth. The second way, the path I chose, ends in a witness protection program. A life where you breathe, you walk, and you eat, but you are effectively a ghost. My name does not matter. My face is a blur in the federal files. But for 6 years, I was not just a criminal. I was the architect of their empire. I was their accountant. I was the one who balanced the books of blood. Today, I am taking you up the ladder of risk. We are not just telling a story. We are looking at the hierarchy of death. From the street corner soldiers to the boardroom of the underworld, let's see exactly how high you have to climb before the fall becomes fatal.
Look at the pyramid. Level 1 is the foundation, the soldiers. This is where I grew up, in Capão Redondo, a place where the math of existence is brutal. My father left when I was 9. My mother was a cook who came home with feet so swollen she could barely stand. In this world, the pyramid starts at the bottom. The street soldiers are the cannon fodder. They carry the rifles, they guard the points, and they are the first to die. I watched friends of mine get recruited at 14. They saw the money, they saw the power, and they didn't see the grave. I knew I couldn't survive that level. I wasn't a fighter, I was an observer. I watched, I learned, and I waited. Level 2 is where I climbed, the secretary. When the leaders realized I could read a legal contract better than their own lawyers, my life changed. I moved from the street to the office. I wasn't a soldier anymore, I was the brain. I managed the logistics, the weapons coming through the Port of Santos, the bribes paid to corrupt officers, the flow of money. To the world, I was a logistics worker. To my mother, I was a successful professional. I paid the rent, I bought the food, and I felt like a hero. But that's the trap of the pyramid. The higher you climb, the more you see. And the more you see, the less they trust you. I was controlling millions of reais, but my life was worth less than a single shipment. We reach level 3, the paranoia. This is where the air gets thin. You stop being a person and start being an asset. I was having coffee every Tuesday with a man named Marcelinho. He was just like me, a brain inside a monster. Then, one Tuesday, he was gone. A week later, they found him in a ditch in Itaquera. Clean execution. No torture. That was the message. Don't ask questions. That was the moment I realized that in this faction, you don't resign. You are either a permanent member or you are a liability. The pyramid is a one-way trip. I looked at the books, I looked at the suppliers, and I saw the names of politicians and high-ranking police officers being paid off. I realized that if I walked away, I was a walking... Level 4 is the betrayal. The X9, the informant. The federal police didn't come to my door with sirens. They were surgical. I was caught on a bus. A woman sat next to me, slid a phone over, and showed me a photo of myself in a place I should have never been. She whispered a number, and my life was split in two. I became a double agent. I spent 14 months playing both sides. During the day, I was the loyal secretary. At night, I was a ghost, leaking data from the bathroom of a shopping mall in Lapa. Every smile from a commander was a knife in my back. Every text message I sent to the police felt like a countdown clock. I leaked routes, I leaked meeting times, and I leaked the identity of the suppliers. We reach level 5, the collapse. The police launched the operation. I had 15 days to act normal. 15 days of pure, unadulterated agony. I had to continue working, smiling, and conferring the books while the police closed the net. Then the order came for Palau. He was a high-ranking member I actually respected. I knew his daughter's name. I saw the family photos he kept on his phone. I was the person who handed his life over to the executioner.
When the news of his death hit the radio, I didn't feel like a hero. I felt empty. The work had finally eaten my soul. That's the peak of the pyramid, the point where you lose your humanity to save your skin.
Finally, the top, the ghost protocol. We were extracted. My mother was pulled from her life in a matter of hours. She didn't know why we were running. She only saw a stranger in her son's eyes. We moved to a new city, new names, new lives. I check the locks every night. I look at the rearview mirror every time a car slows down. Yesterday, in a park, I saw a kid, 19 years old, listening to a local gang leader. The same fear, the same greed, the same lie. I didn't stop him. I couldn't. I was just another number added to the balance sheet. The pyramid never disappears. It just replaces the bricks. I climbed to the top, and I fell. I survived, but at what cost? I sold my past to buy a future that feels like a prison. People think being an X9 is about justice. It's not. It's about survival. And in this world, there is no survival. There is only the wait. If you are watching this, if you are young, if you are thinking about that first step into the fire, look at the pyramid. It doesn't care about your soul. It doesn't care about your life. It just needs another secretary. Don't be that number, because in the end, the ink is always red. And the people at the top, they're the first ones to leave you behind. Stay away from the fire. It doesn't warm you. It only